Most men over 50 have been told the same thing their entire lives. Drink 8 glasses of water a day. Stay hydrated. Keep your body healthy. And they believed it. They bought the big bottles. They set the reminders. They did everything right. But here is what nobody ever told them. If you are over 50 and still drinking plain water, just plain water, nothing added, you are missing one of the simplest, most powerful opportunities to restore the energy, the circulation, and the drive that have been quietly slipping away. Not because water is bad, water is essential, but because after 50, your body needs something more. Something specific. Something that plain water simply cannot deliver on its own. And once I explain what that something is, I promise you, you will never look at your morning glass of water the same way again. Before we get into it, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now if you are serious about taking your health back into your own hands. Drop a comment and tell me where you are watching from. I genuinely love seeing men from across the world showing up for themselves. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do it now. What I'm about to share could completely change the way your body feels every single day. My name is Dr. Miller. I am a board-certified physician with 12 years of clinical experience. And I have spent the better part of my career working with men over 50 who come to me saying the same things. I do not know what happened to my energy. I used to feel sharp. Now I feel like I'm running on empty. I am doing everything right and nothing is working. And almost every time when we dig into the biology of what is actually happening inside their bodies, we find the same culprit, a molecule called nitric oxide, and the fact that their body has quietly stopped making enough of it. Here's what nitric oxide does and why it matters more than almost anything else in your body after 50. Nitric oxide is the molecule that controls blood vessel relaxation. When your nitric oxide levels are healthy, your blood vessels open up easily. Circulation flows freely, and your heart, your brain, your muscles, every system in your body gets the oxygen and nutrients it needs to perform. You wake up with energy, you think clearly, you feel capable, you feel like yourself. But here's the problem. Starting around age 40 and accelerating sharply after 50, your body's ability to produce nitric oxide begins to decline. By the time most men reach their 60s, their nitric oxide production can be less than half of what it was in their 30s. Half. And most of them have no idea it is happening. Biologically, what this means is that your blood vessels gradually become stiffer and narrower. Your heart has to work harder to push blood through a system that is no longer cooperating the way it once did. Your muscles receive less oxygen during activity, so they fatigue faster. Your brain receives less blood flow, so your thinking slows down. Your recovery after any physical effort takes longer than it used to. Emotionally, the effect is devastating. Even though most men never connected to this cause, that sense of being slower than you used to be, that quiet erosion of confidence, that feeling of watching your energy disappear and not understanding why, even though you are eating reasonably, sleeping adequately, and trying your best. Practically, it means your days feel harder than they should. The afternoon energy crash hits earlier. The motivation to get up and do things fades a little more each year, and you find yourself accepting it because everyone around you says it is just aging. It is not just aging. It is a specific, measurable, addressable deficiency, and you can start doing something about it today. Plain water hydrates you. It is critical. Never stop drinking it. But plain water gives your body zero of the raw materials it needs to rebuild nitric oxide production. Think of your body as a factory. Water keeps the lights on and the machines running. But without the right ingredients arriving at the loading dock, the production line for nitric oxide sits idle. The factory is clean, the machines are running, but nothing is being made. What I am going to give you today are the ingredients that change that. The things you can add to your water starting tomorrow morning that give your body what it actually needs to rebuild the chemistry of circulation, energy, and vitality. The first addition, beetroot. If there is one ingredient every man over 50 should know about, it is beetroot. Not the pickled slices on a sandwich. I am talking about beetroot powder. Concentrated, natural, and one of the most well-researched circulation boosters in the world. Here is why it works. Beetroot is extraordinarily rich in natural nitrates. When you consume those nitrates, your body runs them through a conversion process. Nitrates become nitrites, and nitrites become nitric oxide, the exact molecule your blood vessels have been waiting for. What makes this especially important for older men is that beetroot's nitrate pathway largely bypasses the endothelial cells, the cells lining your blood vessels that weaken and become less efficient with age. So instead of relying on an aging system to produce nitric oxide the long way, beetroot gives your body a shortcut, a direct route to the molecule that opens your blood vessels and gets your circulation moving again. Studies have shown that a single serving of beetroot can measurably improve blood flow within hours. Men who use it consistently report steadier energy throughout the day. Not the artificial spike of caffeine, but a real, sustained biological improvement. How do you use it? Mix 1 to 2 teaspoons of beetroot powder into a large glass of water first thing in the morning. It has a deep, earthy taste with a slight natural sweetness. Add a squeeze of lemon to brighten the flavor, and I will explain in a moment why that lemon is doing more than you think. The second addition, pomegranate. Beetroot gets the nitric oxide flowing, but here is the part most people miss. Nitric oxide breaks down quickly, especially in a body that is dealing with inflammation, oxidative stress, or a less than perfect diet. You can produce it and lose it almost simultaneously. That is where pomegranate comes in. Pomegranate is loaded with polyphenols, some of the most powerful antioxidant compounds found in any food on Earth. These compounds act as a protective shield around your nitric oxide, slowing its breakdown and keeping it active in your bloodstream longer. Think of it this way. Beetroot turns the tap on. Pomegranate keeps the water flowing. Together they create something your body has not experienced in years, a sustained, steady delivery of improved circulation. Research has shown that consistent pomegranate consumption improves blood vessel flexibility, reduces blood pressure, and significantly increases the availability of nitric oxide. Add 1 teaspoon of pomegranate powder or 1 teaspoon of pure pomegranate extract to your morning water alongside the beetroot. The combination creates a rich, deep-colored drink that works hard for your cardiovascular system from the very first sip. The third addition, L-citrine. Now we go one level deeper because there is a second pathway your body uses to make nitric oxide, and you can supercharge it with one amino acid that most men have never heard of. It is called L-citrulline, and it is found naturally in watermelon. Here is how it works. Your body converts L-citrulline into another amino acid called l'arginine. And l'arginine is the direct fuel your cells use to manufacture nitric oxide. So citrulline is essentially the supply truck delivering raw materials straight to the production line. What makes L-citrulline superior to simply taking arginine directly is a matter of absorption. When you take arginine as a supplement, a large portion of it gets broken down in your digestive system before it ever reaches your bloodstream. L-citrulline bypasses that problem entirely. It is absorbed efficiently, travels to your cells intact, and is converted to arginine right where nitric oxide is being made. The result is a measurable boost in circulation that compounds the effect of your beetroot and pomegranate. 3 different mechanisms all pointing in the same direction. More nitric oxide, better blood flow, stronger vitality. Add half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of L-citrulline powder to your morning glass. It mixes easily and has a mild, almost neutral taste that disappears completely into your other ingredients. Additional boosters worth knowing. If you want to take this even further, there are several other natural additions that work alongside your core 3. A squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The vitamin C in lemon actively protects nitric oxide from oxidative breakdown, playing the same role as pomegranate, but through a different mechanism. It also makes the whole drink taste sharper and more refreshing. Ginger. A small amount of ginger powder adds compounds that naturally stimulate nitric oxide production while simultaneously fighting the inflammation that silently damages blood vessel walls. Hibiscus powder. Rich in antioxidants, hibiscus helps blood vessels relax more easily and has been shown in multiple studies to support healthy blood pressure. It also turns your morning water a striking deep red. Tart cherry. Tart cherry helps reduce oxidative stress and inflammation while supporting muscle recovery and improving sleep quality. Two things every man over 50 needs more support with. Cocoa powder. Use unsweetened cocoa powder, just a small amount. Cocoa flavanol helps strengthen blood vessel walls and improve their ability to dilate on demand. It also adds a subtle depth of flavor while providing genuine cardiovascular benefits. You do not need all of these every day. Start with the core three: beetroot, pomegranate, and L-citrulline. Then build from there based on how you feel and what you enjoy. Your daily plan. Here is how simple this actually is. In the morning, within 30 minutes of waking up, mix your core ingredients into a large glass of water. 1 to 2 teaspoons of beetroot powder, 1 teaspoon of pomegranate powder, half a teaspoon of L-citrulline powder, a squeeze of fresh lemon. Stir well and drink. If you want to prepare ahead, mix a dry batch of the powders together in a jar and store it at room temperature. Each morning, take 2 to 3 tablespoons of the mixture and stir it into a large glass of water. 10 seconds and you are done. Consider having a second glass in the early afternoon around 2 or 3, just before the typical energy dip. That is when circulation tends to slow and focus begins to fade. A second serving of your nitric oxide drink at that moment is one of the most effective natural interventions I can recommend. The men who see the most significant results are not the ones who try this once or twice. They are the ones who build it into their morning routine the same way they brush their teeth. Consistency is what changes your biology. Not a single dramatic effort, but a quiet daily commitment. I want to tell you about a patient I will call Raymond. Raymond was 64 years old, retired, and came to me complaining of persistent fatigue, poor circulation in his legs, and what he described as a general heaviness, as though he were moving through the day at half speed. His blood pressure was elevated. His energy was gone by noon. He had even started declining social invitations because he simply did not feel up to them. Raymond was drinking his 8 glasses of water every day. He believed he was doing everything right. I introduced him to this protocol. Just the 3 core ingredients added to his morning water. Nothing else changed. No new medications, the same diet, the same daily walks, just the morning drink every single day. 6 weeks later, Raymond came back. His blood pressure had dropped noticeably. His afternoon energy, which used to disappear by 12:30, was now lasting well past 3. He told me he had started accepting invitations again. He said he finally felt like himself, not a younger version of himself, but himself, present, capable, and fully engaged with life. He looked at me and said, "I cannot believe the answer was sitting in a jar of powder this whole time. That is what this is all about. Your body is not finished. Your blood vessels have not forgotten how to work. They are simply not receiving the raw materials they need to function the way they were designed to. When you consistently give them those materials every morning, day after day, the response is often faster and more significant than you would ever expect. Age is not the end of vitality. It is simply a signal that your body needs smarter support. And this is one of the simplest, most accessible ways to provide exactly that. If this video gave you something genuinely useful today, please give it a like. It takes only a second, and it lets me know that this kind of content is worth creating more often. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so because I share practical, evidence-based health information like this every single week, specifically for men over 50 who refuse to accept that decline is inevitable. And leave a comment below. Tell me where you are watching from, and tell me which ingredient you are going to try first. I read every comment, and I genuinely want to hear how this works for you. I am Dr. Miller, and I will see you in the next video. Take good care of yourselves and take good care of your circulation because it is taking care of everything.